Yeah, it's just a beautiful day. So no worries for anybody who couldn't make it here. But I think for everyone who tuned in, it's going to be an interesting one. And the fun thing is these are going to get more and more exciting as we move forward. So again, thanks everybody for being here. Definitely, like Rich said, get your questions ready and throw them in the chat, and let's get started. All right. So that's me, your lone employee at the moment, but not for long. I know some people are sick of this time, but you know, this could be some first co-op timers tonight. If we were in a crowd, I have people raise their hand of who's their first co-op event, but we can't do that. But I always have to do a little bit of review, kind of see why we're here, how we got here. So in 2015, a few friends got together and wished they had a place to shop where local food was available and local farmers were being supported year round. You know, Fredericksburg got such a great, vibrant farmers market, not a farmers market, farmers market. And we just, you know, a lot of us wanted to see one open here, you know, someplace they could go and get local food 365 days a year. So that was the seedling of an idea, and thousands of volunteer hours later, over 1,500 families, community members later, $2.5 million raised locally from those 1,500 people, 4 million total, of course, you know, we raised, and then get national recognition from, you know, grocery startup organizations, you know, national kind of awareness and awards about the amazing work that was going on in Fredericksburg. And, you know, all that 5 years of time and all those folks involved, you know, nobody getting paid a dime. And we're on the cusp of bringing this thing to reality. So really, really exciting time here for us. And hopefully some of you tuned into our Facebook Live, some of our first Facebook Living. But if you didn't, the video is still up on Facebook, and it's pretty fun. It's a quick watch. So I would check it out if you haven't already. But so we have officially broken ground, and you know, in a few short months, this is what our amazing co-op is going to look like. And so we had some heavy hitters out for our groundbreaking. Joshua Cole, local delegate, Virginia delegate. Of course, everybody knows our mayor, Bill Freeling with economic development. They all came out, even among these COVID times. You know, we were all very socially distanced, and everyone wore masks. You know, we had our tape marked, you know, locations of where to stand on the cement, but we felt like we wanted to do something. And look at this beautiful group down here together. You know, about 20 folks came out, mostly board members and former board members, but it was a fun time, and we're really excited about the support we got. Gave a couple of peeks into the store about how things are coming along. Some exciting news that just happened this week. So actually, construction's been going on for a few weeks now, but they've been working on temporary permits. And just this week, we got finalized our complete building permits from the city. So a couple of pictures here. So this is how the city's doing business during COVID. It's just one of those, you know, big crates you see at Home Depot or whatever for sale. You know, these big, you know, whatever, 20-gallon crates, and you drop money in, and they drop plans back out when they're approved. So we came and picked up our plans, and here's our foreman holding all our permits in front of the building over here to the right. And you know, we got lots of thank yous. So John Berger and Lisa Lombardi. John Berger, those are our architects. They helped us out a ton. And then all these folks with the city: Marnie, Jeff Bragg, Kate. Stacy and Tyler, and I'm sure there are others at the city. The city has been great to deal with. You know, Rich has done more than me with the city, but we've always had such great support from our local government here, and really appreciative. The permit process can be very hair pulling and time intensive, and this one was relatively painless. So big thanks to the city. And the cool thing about the permits being released is that we now know that all of our plans have been approved. So, you know, they don't care too much about what goes on inside walls, but outside walls, and we're on the Princess Anne corridor, which can be a more restrictive, you know, building zoning area. There's always a little bit of questions about what can be done outside in your building. So this is really exciting for us. This is the rear of the building. And let's see if I can get my pointer working here. So this is that back road, which I don't know the name of, I should, but it's that road that runs right before you go to kind of turn into the Lee Plaza. And this is our walk-in freezer over here and our walk-in cooler. And it doesn't seem like a big deal, but this is about 700 square feet of extra space of our building that we're adding on. So, you know, what's that? Quick math, about you know, 8%, something like that. Pretty exciting to add that much square footage onto our building. And what it does is it helps us, takes those coolers that were going to be inside the building, puts them outside, and now gives us more room to create a bigger shopping experience, a bigger cafe seating area, a bigger kitchen, you know, all the good stuff we want. So this was exciting getting this approved. And then potentially even more exciting is our outdoor cafe area that's now been approved. So this is 32 seats that you see out here, all, you know, outdoor seating, which is going to be really nice. We're extending, you can see this distance here. This is the current curb, this dotted line, and this is 6.5 feet. So we're coming 6.5 feet out from the curb into the road, and we will, that's going to give us a ton of room for, you know, a big seating area. We'll make sure our Wi-Fi stretches out there, and it's just going to be a big gathering place to come meet some friends, grab a bite to eat, grab a cup of coffee, get some work done. We're really excited about this area. And then, of course, right, this is what we're pretty sure the outdoor cafe area is going to look like. It's going to be pretty large and a great place to meet folks and spread out. So we're really excited about kind of getting those approvals and moving on from the permit process. So it's been a busy couple weeks for us. We've signed our contract with our general contractor, Loudon Building Systems. They're out of Louisa. It's about 40 minutes away. They do a lot of work around the Fredericksburg area, though. Signed a $1.4 million build out, which is about $200,000 over our budgeted estimate. So, you know, obviously $200,000 is a big deal for us. And when these numbers came in, you know, this was our lowest bid. And when these numbers came in, you know, we were a little shocked. We were a little taken aback. We're not 100% sure. We think potentially there's some COVID related, you know, inflation going on. We do know the building and construction industry is one of those industries that has not been affected by COVID. If anything, they're having a very favorable time. You know, lots of people are doing work. And so we're, you know, when we got those bids, we had to kind of go back to the drawing board. We had to rework our pro forma and see how we were going to make all the, you know, the budget work. But it turns out, you know, we had raised a little bit more money than we had set out to raise. And, you know, that with some different equipment savings and different savings from other places, you know, after reworking all our numbers, so our pro forma, just so everybody knows, that's our projected financials. So we project 10 years out, what we think we're going to do in sales, what we think we're going to spend on labor. You know, of course, our rent is in there. And then the big reason we do all this is so we can repay all our loaners, right? The banks want to get repaid and they need to be shown that they're going to get repaid. So we reworked this to make sure we can repay the banks, repay all our amazing owners who loaned us that $2.5 million. That's a lot of work, and we went back and we made the budget work. It cost us a couple of weeks, but we made all our pro forma numbers look beautiful. With cutting and tightening our belt in other places, of course, we're able to move forward with that contract with Loudoun. We got such great feedback and recommendations about Loudoun Building. We're really excited. We don't think we could have found a better partner. And this is how you know the numbers worked, right? Because the bank approved it. The banks, they don't approve anything unless they comb through it and it makes sense to them. So this is actually a day back a few months back where three folks came down from the National Cooperative Bank and kind of toured our site. And I think we signed the contract this day. But Dami, that African-American gentleman towards the middle, he came down for our groundbreaking, which was really great too. I was actually told bankers don't work on weekends at all, but this banker, felt the need. He had no requirement, but he wanted to come support us and came down for our groundbreaking. I was really excited. We have a great relationship with NCB. We're excited to have them as a partner, and Dami's great to work with. So that's how you know the numbers worked, because the bank signed off on it. So here's we start to get into the fun part. If you thought Rich was just a tie and white collar executive, you got this gentleman all wrong. Look at him here sweeping up, preparing the old space for some event we were about to have. I think some open house we were about to have, but you can see, some of the before pictures of what the interior of this building looked like. It's really night and day. What's really going to be fun is when construction's done and we get to compare. But even now, it's kind of night and day of seeing this and seeing what's happening now. So this is a lot of the fun construction that's going on. So a lot of trenching, and this is all the plumbing. You never knew a grocery store took this much plumbing, right? It looked like we're opening just a series of restrooms, but this is all plumbing needed for those refrigerated cases that usually line the perimeters of grocery stores. So this is all the plumbing that's going into that. And here's Wayne again, sitting down here, studying our plans. Demolition. So up here is another one of these beautiful before pictures from Andy Craig, owner and basically do-it-all Renaissance man. Was in here shooting some of these, and this is our before picture where this wall was kind of shut off, this secondary little room back here. And so now this wall's been completely demoed. You can see them here knocking it down. This is what it looks like back there, and this is awesome. This is going to be our manager's offices, our department manager's offices. So it's going to be like a big shared office, and then partially part of our break room here. And here, as you can see, from the back of the store all the way to the front, kind of gives a perspective of really how big the store is. Doesn't look that big from outside, but we got a lot of room in there to work. And this is just, the cutest little, I don't even know what you call that. But I love watching this guy work. Check out there's a little video of it. So cool to see them in there moving that little equipment around. All right. So that's enough of the construction pictures. But if you want more of those, please check out all our social media, our Facebook and Instagram and all that. We're going to have so many more construction pictures and videos coming. But as a lot of you know, something we've been working on this summer was our pre-opening, owner and customer survey. And a huge thank you to everybody who took it. 732 replies. It's pretty unbelievable for a business that isn't even open yet. Who the hell cares to fill out a survey most of the time anyway, let alone for a business that isn't even open. But it really shows the amount of engagement we have from our ownership and our community. So, man, we're so happy. A big thank you to everyone who filled that out. Some of the quick takeaways from that, era, and we will be releasing kind of more of the results later. But just some quick takeaways where people are really looking forward to our fresh produce. I think it was 98% of the people responded that they were planning on shopping our fresh fruit and produce department. So that's great news to us, because we know we're going to have an amazing produce department. Some of the next kind of larger percentages were local. 85% look forward to buying local products at the co-op. 67% of meats, 65% dairy, and then bulk at 43%. And I think that number is going to go up a lot once they see our bulk department and learn more about kind of some of the environmental savings and cost savings that come with shopping bulk. Another takeaway, almost 60% of respondents either tried or want to try grocery delivery or grocery curbside pickup. So we definitely put those questions in there very intentionally, because we wanted to hear, how many folks wanted that to be a part of the co-op, and people spoke, and we definitely are listening. So we are working really hard to have a delivery or curbside option available, if not day one of the store opening, shortly thereafter. And then, of course, we had a couple of open-ended questions there about local recommendations and local farmers people wanted us to work with, and just all kinds of products. And just want you to know that we have those Excel sheets. We have noted every single result, and we got a bunch of awesome leads. I've met a ton of local great farmers. I'll meet a ton more, and but I definitely learned a lot of new ones that I had not heard of. So thank you, everybody, for taking the time to fill those in and kind of let us know who your favorites are and who you want to see in the store. So it's really important. And now just a few kind of testimonials / just kind of, open comments. So we had our last question was just, tell us anything at all. What are we missing? What's important to you? What do you think about this survey? What do you think about the co-op? Anything A to Z. So I just included a few of these because I think kind of gives you a little overview of how folks are feeling, how folks are thinking about the store. So this one I thought was really interesting. I'm pescatarian. So for folks who don't know, that's somebody who only eats fish. That's the only meat they eat is fish. Her husband isn't, but so humanely produced meat, and for her, seafood are very important, and neither are easy to find around here. So that was a cool little note, and definitely don't worry. We're going to have a grade of sustainably sourced seafood and agriculture, meat, pork, chicken products available. I hope it will be accessible to all members of our community. Heard definitely a lot of comments about accessibility, and we love hearing that, because that's definitely, we feel the same way. Here's another one. Continue to enhance the diversity of the co-op owners and the community. We love that. We definitely want this store to represent, the whole of Fredericksburg. This isn't a store for just affluent folks. This isn't a store just for white folks. We want this store to be very representative of the community, and we think we are. We think we're going to have, from our staff to our product offerings, we think we're going to have something for everybody and be a place for everybody. It's very important for me to see a serious attempt to reduce unnecessary plastic wrapping. It'd be wonderful also if they could possibly recycle cork, batteries, etc. Agree wholeheartedly on the plastic wrapping. We're going to have lots of different ways to kind of shop plastic free as much as possible. Plastic free is a kind of a big deal. We certainly won't have plastic bags at the register. That, we're working out still a lot of the kinks and the details, but that's one detail we know. There will not be plastic bags at the register. And we're definitely working on a lot of alternative recycling options too, for things like cork, batteries, even things like eyeglasses, old toothbrushes. I know that sounds crazy, but there are a lot of markets for recycled products out like that, and we hope to be kind of a gathering place for a lot of those items. I've not had a chance yet to take part in your programming, but I appreciate that's happening, and I hope to later. And we hear that a lot. They love that it's going on, but they haven't been able to really join us yet. And then the second part I thought was really interesting too. So this city has a lot of hunger, I'd like to see the co-op working with local leaders or organizations to think about how we can help as a group. And we completely agree. We're already working with folks, even though we're not open yet, we're already working with folks on, food banks. We're in touch with food banks and folks that help supply food, and whether it's working with folks that live near food deserts or just providing access to fresh foods. That'll something that'll always be close to our heart and our mission. This is one that maybe not everyone had the guts to say, but a few people did. Just open the store already. We definitely heard that a couple times. We're listening. We hear you. We're working there. All right. Love the pre-made food options like the little buffet that Harrisonburg Food Co-op has. Yeah, we love Friendly City's got a great little hot bar going, and a great prepared foods department, and we think we will have great options just like they do. Really looking forward to local produce, meat, dairy, eggs. Would love to see lots of bulk. Yep, love that. Keep up the great work, y'all. Proud to be a member owner of such an awesome group. So those are just a few comments, and just kind of wanted to show you some of those to give you a taste of some of the feedback we got, and also let you know that we really listen to that kind of stuff. We've combed through every single cell on the Excel sheet we got, and we have all those comments marked, and we're paying attention. Move on to ownership, right? This will always be something near and dear to us. You guys are why we're here, and you can see we're over that magical 1,500 number, unbelievable. And 2020, even in a world where we know, the economy is, in a recession or coming towards a recession. A lot of folks think so many people have been adversely affected by COVID-19. We can't go out and do all the events we normally do, which we normally sign up a lot of folks at events. And still, we've got 252 new owners this year, more than one a day, that's how our board president, Rich, can sleep at night. If it's under one a day, he doesn't sleep. That's the vow he's made. I sleep fine personally, but he can sleep now that we have over one a day. So that's amazing. We're at 1,543 owners now. Just so exciting to see that growth. Thank everybody who has joined, even if you joined years ago and you've just been nagging your neighbor to join. Thank you so much for everybody's efforts. Because why, right? You guys are why we're here. This is how we're able to be here. And what we want to know now is what else can we do to keep growing? How do we keep spreading the word, especially with COVID-19? We can't do all the events we know we normally do. We can't get out there in the community and meet folks and talk about the co-op like we normally do. How do we keep growing? And really my big thing is, all right, we're at 1,543 now. How many owners can we actually have before we open? It's pretty interesting to think about. I don't think we can get to 1,600, but I'd like to see how close we can get to 1,600. We're trying to get some ideas, so friends and neighbors, you don't have to put them in a headlock, but we do have pamphlets that kind of talk about the co-op. We still understand it's a little bit of a weird idea. There aren't a lot of co-ops in Virginia, so it's still definitely a foreign idea that we know we need to share information on and help educate our friends and family about, what the co-op's going to be. So we have pamphlets. If you need a pamphlet that you want to carry around in your purse so you can hand to somebody, let us know. Gift and ownership. We have lots of awesome owners who gift ownerships to their neighbors, to their family members, to anyone who they think would benefit from the store. Maybe somebody, a friend of theirs who they think wants to eat better or cares about local products. Gifting and ownership is always awesome. Christmas right around the corner. Hard to believe. Yard signs. Definitely come get a yard sign from us. This is Luke picking up a couple. Met Rich over at the co-op last week and picked up a couple yard signs. If you need a yard sign, they are free. let us know, give us an email, and we will meet you and bring a yard sign right to your house. And then the fun part, right, is follow all our construction on social media. If you're not on Facebook or Instagram or something, stay tuned to our email updates. We'll have construction updates on there too. But this is the fun part, right? We get to show all the broken up concrete. We get to show holes in walls. We get to show, new coolers coming in. I mean, it's only going to we get to see cranes putting equipment up on the roof soon. It's going to be pretty awesome. So definitely that's a great way to kind of poke and nudge your friends and family is when you see those social media shares or email shares, share them on with friends and kind of say, hey, look at the co-op's really getting built now. It's cool. All right, so what's next for us? Construction rolls on. We know that. We still got holes in the floor, so we know we're not really close to done yet. But so construction will keep happening, and it'll just keep getting more exciting. If you're not on Facebook now, boy, what a great time just to join. I mean, I'm not necessarily a huge Facebook fan personally. You won't find a lot of personal information about me on social media. Maybe I'm a little more private, but you can just join and just follow us, and you don't ever have to share a thing. You can just follow along with all our awesome pictures and videos. Super fun. So definitely keep an eye out for our construction. Hiring staff is right around the corner. Right now I'm still the only paid staff member, but that'll be changing here over the next couple months. And we're really excited to announce that we're going to be back at the farmers market again. We talked about the farmers market earlier. It's such a important partner for us, both mission-wise in the local food mission that we definitely share in supporting our local growers. But it's been such a valuable tool for us and arena. I mean, in a lot of ways, the farmers market has been kind of our storefront over the last 4.5 years. That's where, many folks know us from. I see you guys, you're at the farmers market every Saturday, or even, used to go twice a week, I think. So definitely come check us out. We're excited to be back there. The first 3 Saturdays in September, we will be very carefully and safely spreading the word. So masks and distancing and all that stuff. I bet we'll even have free masks there too if you need a mask. A lot of our volunteers are still making masks and giving them out. So definitely come check us out, even just to say hi. The farmers market for the first 3 Saturdays in September. And then, and you know what, if you're not going to come out for us, just come out for your farmers. I think it's been a slower season for the farmers market, very understandingly because of what we're going through. But, those farmers need the support now more than ever. So even if you don't come say hi to us, make it by the farmers market every Saturday if you can. And, try to buy a little bit of your veggies. Man, I got to share this story. It's so sad. I ate at a restaurant last night here in Fredericksburg. I won't name them because I don't want to hurt them, but there was a tomato inside my sandwich and it was white as a ghost. And it's just so sad to me because I know tomatoes right now are just overflowing from all our farmers. I think they end up having more than they can even sell. So it's just, I went into my kitchen and grabbed one of my tomatoes that I get from the CSA and cut it in, and is, the brightest red you've ever seen, and took out this terrible little white tomato and put in one of these beautifully locally grown real tomatoes. And man, what a great, so if you're buying tomatoes at the store right now, I would try to save up and wait till Saturday when you can get real amazing tomatoes at the market. All right, and we can't end without, of course, thanking all our amazing supporters. So all of our owners who invested in us, we think very intelligently. You guys really made this happen. You're the reason why construction's going on. You're the reason why we're able to sign that construction contract. Thank you everyone who's made a loan to the co-op, and we're excited about paying you back. And of course, our amazing board and volunteers. Again, I'm the only paid person. All these lovely faces you see on this screen, they show up often, daily, if not weekly, and dedicate these hours to the store for nothing, to help build this thing. And they've done an amazing job, and we thank them so much. We couldn't be anywhere near where we are without them. And that's it, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. We're going to stop sharing here, and we will take a few questions. So Rich, you want to start with some chat questions, and then at some point we can just have folks unmute if they're more comfortable doing that.
Yep. So we had a question from Cindy about whether we'll have a beer and wine section.
Great question, Cindy. Yes, we certainly will. It's actually going to be pretty substantial, and yeah, we're busy learning all of our local. Well, I mean, we'll have some non-local stuff too, but we're busy learning all of our local breweries. I'm new to Virginia, so this is part of the products I get to. This is part of my lab work I get to enjoy. So I'll be out finding local breweries and ciders, wineries. Please send on suggestions always, but definitely we'll have a great beer and wine section.
Rex is asking if we've had any contact with the local Chamber of Commerce. And I can say that we have before you came on board, Chris. So
yeah, I was just about to say, Rich, I think you know more about that than me. So could you, what's been our experience with the chamber?
Yeah, we participated in their program a year and a half or 2 years ago about a local business startup, and we were awarded the People's Choice as the best People's Choice startup. We've had contact here and there with the Chamber of Commerce. We're not an official member right now of the chamber. That may change as we open and the store gets on the ground, but we definitely have a positive relationship with the folks there. So thanks for that.
Yeah, and I can even, no pressure at all, but I can say we'll definitely be a chamber. I mean, we'll definitely be a chamber member once we get open. The budget on starting this thing is, our board has done an amazing job at really cutting every cost they can, getting so much of the time and even materials volunteered or donated. They even donate money themselves to a lot of things. So I definitely understand not being a member yet, but I can guarantee we'll be a chamber member here soon.
Great. So Helen is asking, will we be able to bring our own containers to the bulk food section?
We will. Right now, that's perfectly legal and safe. Says Virginia and the CDC. We will continue to follow all of that stuff. But as long as it's safe, yes, we want people reusing and reducing, new waste as much as possible.
So Wendy is asking the $64,000 question. What is the new timeline for opening?
Rich, why don't you take that one?
As soon as possible. As soon as possible. We wish we were already open, but the world isn't that way, and we're moving pretty quickly. And you can see the construction going on. As someone who's been involved in this for the last 5 years, it's gratifying to see the progress and to know that this dream will become a reality. So I would be patient with us a little longer. Let me turn to Chris. Anything you want to add?
I would say it's going to be, we're not that far off from what we said of being towards the end of the year. It's going to be around the end of the year. We're still waiting on some timeline issues from our general contractor. There are some potential supply issues for equipment, COVID related, HVAC equipment and lighting equipment. There have been major delays on, so we're still waiting to hear a complete schedule from them. But as soon as we have that and we feel really comfortable, we will, start announcing our grand opening date and start preparing for that. But it won't be, if it's in 2021, it won't be much past it.
Anyone else have any questions? Just go to the chat box and type it in. in the meantime, Chris, let me just ask you uh, about local foods. And I know you've reached out to a number of farmers. I'm wondering if you could talk about how the co-op will be supplied, uh, both locally and with other products, and how that whole thing will work.
Hmm. So we will have, some larger national and regional distributors. We'll carry bananas, we'll carry coffee, we'll carry toilet paper. Those are kind of staples, things that we can't grow around here and produce around here. So we will have relatively regular deliveries from national and regional, both grocery and produce suppliers, and then really we fill in with every single thing we can get local. So there are local distributors and producers that'll be delivering to us regularly. We'll have some sort of local delivery, I'm sure, going on every single day, even weekends. So we will work with tons and tons of local farmers, producers, and distributors, and try to get as much product as we can local, and then lean on our national and larger regional suppliers for all those things we can't get locally, and all those staples that we talked about, bananas, coffee, wine from California, so on.
Chris, what impact do you think the food co-op will have on local agriculture if you look out over 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it does. It starts small, and really we should be growing our local purchases every year. So um, the longer we're in business, the more locals will come to rely on us and start really growing for us. So we've even had conversations already with farmers who have said, oh, okay, well, they were making a decision maybe on starting to farm another acre of land. That's how a lot of farming works. They start out with a half acre, and then they have an opportunity to work a little bit more. We've got some really close relationships already with folks who have already said, okay, well, now that I know the co-op's going to be here, I am going to start working this other land. It's the dedicated supply or demand is a huge thing for them. Lots of farmers, I hate to say it, hate going to the farmer's market. It's a ton of work. They get up and harvest that morning, then load everything up, go work all day, then drive home, unload. So local farmers love having a place they can come drop 20, 40, 100 pounds of stuff off at in one foul swoop. So we will only help local agriculture around here. And even though we haven't been open yet, we've already heard that from locals that, we're so glad you're here. Now that I've met you and we know we're going to have this relationship, they kind of know where our heart is as far as purchasing local, that they've made the decision to take the next step on kind of expanding their operation. So we're really excited about that. And again, our goal is just to grow it every year. Whatever the dollar amount we spent last year, we want to buy more the next year.
Great. So Carol is asking, will non-owners be able to shop at the co-op, or is it for owners only?
Carol, that's a great question. And I think a lot of people ask this, and actually we need you and everyone on this call to shout it from the mountaintops. Is completely open to the public. We are not an owner-only organization. Almost all co-ops, food co-ops at least, are completely open to the public. We will be completely open to the public. There are certain benefits and discounts and warm, fuzzy feelings you get from joining, but we will be completely open to the public, and it won't even be a kind of thing where like, oh, you're not an owner. Like, no one will even know who's an owner, who's not an owner when you're walking in and you're shopping. So great question. I know if you're thinking it, other people are, and we'll always kind of be fighting that stigma. So we need help spreading that word, especially after we've gotten open.
So Jonathan is asking, what would you call the most innovative things about our new store?
Oh man, Jonathan, you're supposed to lob me softballs here. You're not supposed to be throwing fastballs. Innovative. Well, I mean, let's see. So we're gonna have a really cool green wall system in our cafe. I'll just pick this one and talk about this one. We're gonna have a bunch of cool equipment. Grocery and kitchen equipment continues to evolve and kind of get cooler. We'll have beer on tap, and we'll have kombucha on tap at the store. So that's cool. But I don't know about innovative. Innovative, I think, is I've never seen a grocery store that has a living green wall inside the store. So you might have seen these, but they're kind of like plant systems that live on the walls and grow these like ferns and succulents and all kinds of cool stuff that help recirculate oxygen in the air. And of course, they're just beautiful as all heck. I think I'll hang my hat on that as being the most innovative feature of our store. We didn't splurge a lot. It sounds like we're creating this this really high end deluxe shopping experience, but we cut a lot of corners on our budget to make this work. But I'd say this is the one area we splurged. We spent $12,000 on this green wall system, and I think it's just going to be a gem. I think it's going to be a talking point. You're going to be able to see it from the parking lot because of the glass in the cafe. I think it's just going to be a really cool kind of feature of Fredericksburg. So I'll give you that. I'll give you that as an answer.
Let me add to Jonathan's question and ask you, how does food co-op differ from like conventional grocery stores?
Well, how long is this call, Rich? Come on. Jesus.
In 30 seconds or less.
30 seconds or less. Okay. I'd say we're a smaller shopping experience. So I'd say less overwhelming. If you forgot the milk and you've already passed it, you don't have to walk a whole football field to go get it. We'll have the friendliest, most knowledgeable staff in town, guaranteed. We'll have everything you need, but in a smaller package. We'll be the grocery store that is trying to buy local with every purchase and is trying to do the right thing for the environment with every decision we make. So, and of course we'll pay and treat our employees unbelievably well. I started working at a co-op, 18 years ago and haven't left since because it's just such an amazing experience. So how about that? 30 seconds.
Yeah, it might have been a little more than 30, but good.
Right.
So Nick, let's see, Nicolette is asking, would you be willing to come speak to the Lake of the Woods Lions Lioness Club for membership?
Absolutely. And she didn't even need to tell me what organization. She could have said my dinner party next weekend and I would have said yes. So anything you got, I'll type my email address into the chat. Nicolette, reach out. And I'd love to come speak at anything you guys are doing.
Okay, Jonathan is adding a question about whether knocking out the back of the building, walk-in coolers. He's saying that's innovative.
Good point. Great point. Yeah, Jonathan, you're right. That was a softball, and that's what I was supposed to answer. I'm sorry. That was a great, yeah. So we, what I talked about in this presentation. It was a really innovative idea that I think actually I have to credit to Andy Craig. Now, we didn't understand he was adding $100,000 to our construction budget at the time when he suggested it, but Andy gave me that idea and we ran with it. And yeah, adding that 700 square feet to the building is going to make the shopping experience so much better. So good point, Jonathan. Yes, I forgot how innovative that was. And of course, thank you, Andy. Where most of my good ideas come from.
So Ethel is asking if you have any concerns now that Weiss is closing. Is it good or bad?
Oh, well, it's great. I mean, I feel bad for staff, there who've lost their jobs or are about to lose their jobs. They'll certainly have a place at the co-op if they'd like. But it's great for our outlooks for sure. It's actually one of the things that made us even more sure about reworking our pro forma and our sales projections, that, anytime the closest grocery competitor to you goes out of business, that's some guaranteed traffic. Even if you don't think you share a lot of the same demographics or products, you share a lot more than you think, and convenience is a huge thing. So, yeah, that'll be a great boost. I mean, that could boost us anywhere from 10% to 30%. And now, there's always the other side of the coin, right? Someone else is going to move in there at some point. Could be next year, it could be in 5 years, but we'll always be battling new competition in one way or another. That's just the grocery industry. It's very competitive. So, but yeah, for our short-term projections, Weiss closing is definitely a shot in the arm.
Okay, I put your email address here in the chat so anyone can
Thank you.
email Chris. And I'm seeing no more questions, but I love the update and love hearing about all the progress.
Awesome. And they're only going to get more exciting from here. So stay tuned.
So if there are no more questions, last call. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you shopping at the store before we know it.
Thanks, everyone.